birthday today. I've just done my unboxing of my birthday, my unboxing of my presents. I'll do a different video about that, but today I'm going to go out into the world and buy myself something that I have wanted for a little while now. So you may have seen in my shopping video the other day that I stopped off at this shop to talk to the owner about whether or not he had something in stock, and he does. And I'm going to go over there now and see whether or not his stock is for me. I am super excited. Usually sort of my birthday, there isn't anything I really want or need, you know? There are things throughout the year that I go, oh yeah, I need to go and order that. But generally speaking, there's not a lot that I really require. You know, I'm fairly low maintenance, but a few months ago, I saw something in a shop in Kigali Heights that really caught my attention, and I just thought, oh, I didn't think you could get one of those in Rwanda, but you can. So I'm going to go off and perhaps buy that thing now. And in order to go and buy it, today I'm going to be taking a public motor because I don't think that I can get this thing on the back of my motorbike. So I'm going to have to take a motor and then I can carry it to bring it home. So let's go check it out. So today I headed to Bethel Goods opposite Kigali City Market. I found this place a few years ago while shopping at Mama Fatima's, a well-known fabric shop next door. I just love all of the guitars hanging from the ceiling. They sell absolutely everything, from strings and amps to French horns and drum kits. It's always busy in there and full of musicians. They also sell cameras, mics and chroma key screens. I've been looking for one of these. So, what am I here to buy? Well, across town at Kigali Heights, there's a bookshop called Charisma. A few years back, they got a selection of musical instruments. It's really rare to see a lot of these. At first, I was drawn to the clarinet, but then I saw the saxophone. It was the first time I'd ever seen one for sale in Kigali. They also have a gorgeous black violin. I drool every time I see it, but I'd never buy it. Violins are really painful to play, but it looks super cool. The saxophone they're selling is a Montreux. I looked it up, and it's a good beginner instrument. I knew that if Bethel didn't have a good brand, I could always go back to Charisma for this one. But when I got to Bethel, they were selling a Yamaha. As a piano tuner, I know that Yamaha make real good quality pianos, so I felt in safe hands with that brand. This one behind was going for 1 million francs, but this beginner instrument was 400,000 francs, which is roughly £255 at the moment. Before going shopping, I had done a little bit of research on Amazon. There are some really, really beautiful beginner instruments on there for around the same price. How cute is this? And it's only a little bit more expensive. And I love this colour blue. It just looks so smart. Something Leo P would approve of. And this black one is definitely my style. I was really just looking at prices. You can get ripped off on imported goods. Because supply is so scarce in Rwanda and import costs are so high, you often pay astronomical prices, and it's really disheartening to see what you could have bought online if we had a modern postal system. But I was actually pretty surprised. They had the exact same Montreux Alto for way more than it was selling in Kigali. Charisma was also charging 400,000 for their sax, again about £255, whereas this is selling on Amazon for 350, and that's at a discount. That's around 560,000 francs. So if you are looking for a beginner sax, that one at Charisma would be a really good deal. I couldn't actually find any starter Yamahas on Amazon UK or US. None that looked like mine or were anywhere near as cheap, so I can't do a price comparison on that. But looking through the general pricing on altos, I'm happy with what I paid. Hi guys, so I've got home, I've got the saxophone. I am really excited. Yeah, I've got so much to say about it, but just before I dive in, I have decided to treat myself to takeout. Because it's my birthday, I thought I would order from a couple of restaurants that I haven't tried yet. I've got some Malaysian chicken wings from Asian Kitchen, which I think was just a starter. But then I ordered a cottage cheese biryani, which was on special offer with the Raw Biryani house. And I'm sitting here looking at it now, and the presentation is fascinating. Look at this. I'm a bit confused because I've got two of them, and I thought that I'd only ordered one, but I think maybe it's part of the promotion. But I fancied chicken wings, and these look really good, but they're the most expensive chicken wings on the menu. They're like 12,000, whereas most are somewhere between 6 and 8 on Vuba. And I was kind of expecting a little bit more for that amount of money, so hopefully they will taste incredible. But this is fascinating. It's been delivered in clay pots. When have you ever seen something like that? I mean, that is just, I mean, this is takeaway delivery in a clay pot. Right, let's see what's inside this. Look at this! Oh my goodness. I was not expecting that. I was expecting like maybe a paper tub or something. And here's the close-up of the chicken wings. So, it all smells amazing. So I'm just gonna dig in. I think I can probably eat the biryani directly from the pot with a fork. So yeah, I'm gonna eat and then I'm gonna play the sax. 10 out of 10 for presentation. The flavour's not bad. It's a bit bland. Could definitely do with more seasoning. But I have enough to feed me for 3 weeks. Okay, let's see what's in the case. Hello, beautiful. So, I guess this slots into the top. This is a reed. I think this is the bit that you blow into. Strap. White gloves. I guess this is for cleaning. Random piece of blue foam. No idea why that's in there. Couple of extra straps, which might be for the case. And something that looks like a chapstick. Valve lubricant, perhaps? All right, guys, I'm a bit nervous. I'm very excited. Growing up, I was a trumpet player in my youth. And a trumpet is a very, very different type of instrument. That involves a lot of like puffy cheeks. It's a hard instrument to play. I also dabbled a bit with the keyboard. I now play the piano pretty badly. So what is interesting about the saxophone is that it's a reed instrument. You blow through a reed and the reed vibrates to make the sound. And so all that I really know about saxophones, the only thing that I really know about saxophones is they come in a few different sizes. There's like a treble, which looks like a clarinet, or is kind of not very saxophone shaped. And then there's the alto, which I've bought today. And then I think there's the tenor. And then is it a bass or a baritone? There's a really big one. I know that the treble and the, what's the big one called again? The tenor. See, I'm really bad at this. The treble and the tenor, I think, are in B flat, but the alto is in E flat, which is going to be interesting. But I have a little bit of experience with E flat, not much, but I also occasionally used to play the tin whistle, and the reason that I used to play the tin whistle is because Spider Stacy made it look so damn cool. You know, that was about it. So I learnt the tin whistle so that I could play Fairy Tale of New York. The end. So I do play the tin whistle. Years ago, I had another YouTube channel which I now can't access due to blah. I did a video about that. Still annoyed. But yeah, on that is a couple of videos of me tootling away on a tin whistle. A couple of tin whistles, including a really tiny one. And a drain pipe, because my lovely friend Fred made me like a giant tenor tin whistle out of a drain pipe, and I played it. So that was a really long time ago. Okay, so why the saxophone? It was a toss-up between the clarinet and the saxophone because I love the way both of these things sound. But I went with the sax because it looks cool. Not that the clarinet doesn't look cool, but the clarinet is more sort of whimsical, more sort of dreamy, more kind of, you know, wandering through the forest and yeah. Anyway, whereas the sax is kind of, it's got a bit of, I don't know, it's got a bit of play. So years ago, there's a guy near the village that I grew up in, and he has this house on this beautiful bit of water. And in the evenings, sometimes musicians go down, light a few candles and play. One evening I was there and a guy turned up with a saxophone, and I blew into it. That's all the experience I have ever had with a saxophone, is I blew into one once and it made a sound. And I kind of walked away from that thinking, oh, you know, I wish I'd had a bit longer with that. I wonder if I could actually play it, if I could make like more than just a sound. Because like I say, I grew up playing the trumpet, which is a brass wind instrument. You blow into it, and the harder you blow, the more noise it makes. Whereas a reed instrument is a different animal, and I was about to say that I've never played a reed instrument before, and that isn't quite correct. So when I was in my teens, I very briefly went to study bagpipes with Kingsthorpe Bagpipe Band. And if you've ever learnt to play the bagpipes, which, you know, some people do, you will know that you begin learning to play the bagpipes on something called a chanter, and it looks like a snake charmer. I liked it for that reason. I thought, oh yeah, sod the bagpipes, I'm going to become a snake charmer instead. And that is actually a reed instrument, and I played that for a bit. So I have played a reed instrument, but other than that, no. And like I said, I do play the piano a little bit, but I don't have natural rhythm. Some people have the rhythm section down. You know, they can play the bass and they can get a rhythm going, and then they weave the melody in around the rhythm. I'm not, I'm a melody person. I hear the melody and I pick that up, and then, you know, I fix the beat around it. So that is very hard for me. And so the nice thing about a saxophone or even a tin whistle is the fact that you're just playing the melody, and you don't have to worry about, you know, the rest of it. So I love the piano, but I have some very talented cousins who are incredible musicians. I'll leave some links below, you can check them out. But I'm not really a gifted musician, but what I am is good at fixing pianos. And because of that, I adore pianos. I love fixing them for other people to play. But in terms of finding an instrument that I am at ease with, that I can make nice sounds with, I don't know, maybe this is it, maybe not. We'll find out. You'll find out. My neighbours will certainly find out. I might be evicted by the end of this video. Okay, right, enough waffling. I have no idea what I'm doing with this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to watch a YouTube tutorial on what the different parts of it are. And also how to maintain it, because I'm not sure about that either. With the trumpet, oh, the trumpet's a delightful instrument. It's beautiful. It's after you've been playing for a few minutes, you have a little valve at the end that you open to let your spit out. It is literally called the spit valve, and you have to have a spit cloth underneath you to allow your spit to flow out of the instrument. Otherwise it starts to gurgle. Don't know if you have to do that with a saxophone. Let's find out. I don't even know how to put the reed in at the moment or set the mouthpiece up. So I'm going to come back, I'm going to go and watch it, and I'll let you know what video I find below. I'm going to go and watch how to set it up, and then once I set it up, I'm going to learn how to play the scale. So I'm quite excited. Okay guys, I've just binge watched a load of this guy called Troy Roberts. Thank you very much, Troy. And he's just gone through how to assemble the saxophone and the parts of it. And what else did he talk about? He talked about picking reeds. Now this is interesting because in my birthday package, because I knew that I wanted to go and buy one of these, I ordered a set of alto saxophone reeds, but I have no idea about different types of reeds, so I kind of crossed my fingers and hoped for the best. And I've noticed that one came with the saxophone, and that says 2.5 in size, whereas the ones that I ordered are 2. I don't know if that's the thickness, like the width of them, or if it's the strength of them. I don't know. I'm sure I'm going to find out later on. I think I understand how to assemble it, and I'm going to have a go. The part I'm not so sure about is how the neck strap works. I think you just put it over, because I thought maybe you clipped half of it to one part of the instrument and half of it to the other, but it seems like there's only one hook. So I don't know. I've got it around my neck now. I feel like I'm going to a conference. Hi everybody, my name is Marion. Hello, hi. There are 3 parts to this apparently. This is the mouthpiece. Now I need to attach a reed to the mouthpiece. Come on, I fix pianos. This shouldn't be that hard. Okay, so I think I need to unscrew these. It's got a tiny bit of reed in it, but I think that's just to like hold the screws in place. So I'm just undoing these little tiny little screws here, and I think I just, oh no, I messed that up. It's not a tiny bit of reed. It's actually got a reed in it, and this bit at the top was like a guard. So this part comes off, that's the guard for it. It's already got a reed inside it. So I'm just going to retighten these little things here as though I haven't undone them. So they're nice and tight again. So it's already got a reed in it. Is it supposed to be on the top or the bottom? I just need to check this. I think the reed's supposed to be on the bottom. Okay. I have no idea. Oh, okay. You have to blow a lot harder than I was expecting. It sounds like it's in pain, so am I. Wow, okay. Huh, interesting. All right. So then apparently this bit goes on to here. But, sorry, I'm still a bit shocked by that sound. Sorry, oh God, I feel like I'm torturing it. Poor little instrument. Wasn't expecting to have to deal with this today. So there's this bit of cork. Now, there's something in the box that looks like a chapstick. And what did Troy call this? He called it, I don't know, I think he called it like cork grease or something. It actually has quite a marker pen kind of smell about it, like, I don't know, paraffin-y kind of. There's a wonderful smell that comes with new instrument boxes. It's like new cars. There's a specific smell that's just really nice. Anyway, so I think I'm supposed to put a bit of this on the cork, and that's supposed to help the mouthpiece go on more easily. Every instrument comes with something. Like if you have a violin, it comes with rosin or rosin, I can never pronounce it, which you use on the bow to make the bow like slide properly. With the trumpet, you get a little bottle of valve oil, which you have to put on the valves so that they open and close properly. Okay, it is like chapstick. It's very much like chapstick. You see, it's just going on here like that. I don't know how much I'm supposed to put on. I assume it's just sort of a bit like Vaseline, but probably not Vaseline. Okay, I'm going to rub a little bit of it on. I don't know. Sorry to saxophone players if you're watching this and going, oh dear God. Yeah, oh dear God, sorry. I'm learning. Leave me alone, I'm learning. Okay, right. So apparently this goes on, oh, it goes on really easily. I don't even think it needed that. Yeah, I don't know. It goes on really, really easily. Okay, so that's the mouthpiece is now on the neck. Oh, it's got a funny little valve on it. Look at that. Ah, got a little valve on it. No idea why. No idea why. Now to the main part of the instrument. Right. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so heavy. It's, oh my goodness. Oh wow. It is so heavy. My goodness. It's really interesting because when he said, oh yeah, this is a cheaper one, I thought I'd like pick it up and it'd be like plastic, you know, I thought it'd just be a flimsy thing. This is heavy. This, you could club somebody with this. Not that I'm recommending that, but okay, so, wow, just wow, wow. So he said before you do anything, you need to connect it. And that's, I've got to do this every time because if I drop this, that wouldn't be good. So, it's beautiful. It's so intricate. You know, I mean, I haven't played the trumpet in years and years and years and years. I probably couldn't anymore. But I mean, like, trumpets are pretty damn simple compared to this. This has just got, look at it. It's got all of these weird pieces to it. It looks terrifying. It looks almost slightly arachnid with all of these little leggy bits on it, but like, it looks impossible to play. Right, now the main question is, where do I attach myself? Where the hell do you attach this? Oh, I see. There is a tiny little, you see that where my nose is pointing? Yeah, there's a tiny little ring, and I think that's where I attach myself. Let's try it. Oh, wow. I'm geeking out. Oh God, this is, oh goodness, hell almighty. Oh, I'm on. I've got it. I am attached. So then I think I'm just assuming that I unscrew this. Oh, no way. I think I know what this is. You see, there's something coming out the top here. If I'm correct, because I've sort of seen the different parts, I've seen like images online. When I was looking at the Amazon images, I saw these. I think that's a cleaning instrument. I think that might be like a duster. How fucking cool is that? I mean, what the there's half a bloody duster down here. I was not expecting this. Wow, that's cool. That's cool, right? That's cool. And does it go back in? Yeah, really, really easily. Okay, so that's for cleaning the instrument. That's very cool. Now that that's out, I assume it's like a Kinder Surprise, isn't it? It's like there's no instructions with this. Let me think about this. So, well, that's already unscrewed. There's two little tiny screws here, like little ears, like little Shrek ears. Oh, okay, well the front of the instrument is here, so it would help to put it facing the back of the instrument. Oh no, that's interesting. Oh, okay. All right, so there's a button. I don't know what I pressed, but there's a button on here. There you go, you see it. It's bringing this forward. So I assume that this valve here comes down over the front of that so that when you hit the button, it goes forward. I'm assuming. If this was a piano, that's what would happen. So that should be straight onto me. It's straight onto me. Okay, everything looks like it's straight. So I'm just going to tighten this here. And apparently, this is a saxophone. Oh my god. Happy birthday to me. How far onto the cork should that be? Just want to know how far onto the cork that's supposed to be. I assume that's correct. Let me just check. What did we do in the days before the internet? I can't even remember. Yeah, that looks right. So people playing it, there does seem to be a little bit of cork showing. Oh my, hey look, I was right. Look, click. You click that and it lifts this. Oh, that's amazing. I don't even know what it does, but it's amazing. Okay. Oh shit. Oh, my neighbours are gonna hate me. I think we might have to go to my noise-proof, soundproof audio booth. I don't think, I didn't realise it was going to be that loud. Yeah, I don't think my neighbours are going to be very happy. Ah, that's interesting. So I went down to up by blowing harder. Now, on a trumpet you do that. On a trumpet you blow harder and it goes up. On a tin whistle you blow harder and it goes up. Let me just show you that. Let me unhook myself for a moment. Okay, so trumpets and tin whistles are actually kind of similar because if you want to go up an octave, you just blow harder. So a piano is the easiest instrument to go up an octave. It's basically got 8 standard or 8 whole notes in an octave. And then I guess 13 if you're adding the black keys, and then they just repeat. And there are 7 full octaves on a standard piano. And so to go up an octave, you just move up and down on the piano. Really easy. I'd say that trumpets and tin whistles are hard instruments to do because to go up and down, you have to do it with your breath. So this, like here. So I'm not moving my fingers. I could. But I'm just going up and down with the extra breath. That's actually a weird whistle. Not a weird whistle, it's actually a damn fine whistle. It's a silk tone whistle. It was handmade. I don't know if the guy still makes them. But this is quite a nice one. This is a wooden fipple whistle. I should do a different one about whistles. We're talking about saxophones today. Yeah, but this one sounds like a flute because usually you have on a standard tin whistle, you usually have a plastic fipple. So this fipple, F, not N. So this is a plastic fipple. This is a standard, penny whistle. But these are beautiful. If you replace the plastic with wood, it sounds like a flute. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Anyway, yeah, where was I? They're harder though because like if you see here, it's pinched. That allows you to go for much more breath, a much longer time with the same amount of breath because it's a much smaller opening. Whereas with a wooden fipple, you get it's a larger opening, so you run out of breath real quick. But I love this when I first found it because I've always loved the sound of the flute, but I cannot play the flute. I have tried. I do not have the mouth for it. I cannot make a flute make a sound. Anyway, so where were we? Yeah, so with the saxophone, I have heard that it has a button on it that changes the octave. So I don't know if that's true or not, but from just blowing harder into it, I don't really feel like I can go up and down octaves easily. I don't even know how many octaves you can get out of it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to look for a video to teach me how to play a scale on it, or even just how to play it. Let's find out. All right, so I've just finished watching a video by a guy called Get Your Sax Together, and apparently the mouth shape that you make is called your embouchure. And he was saying that you put your teeth, well, he said there's different ways to do it, and he said you put your teeth here and a bit of a puff underneath here, and that should make the sound. And it does. But he also mentioned a player who puts both of his lips over his teeth. And I tried that, and I think that is easier. For me, it's well easier to put my lips over my teeth. I mean, it works both ways, but I think it works both ways, but I quite like the full puff kind of thing going on there. Although he did take the piss. He did say, whatever you do, you don't want your cheeks puffing out like a hamster. Mate, I was a trumpet player. There is no shame. There is no shame in having hamster cheeks, all right? So the next tip he said is that if you've got it right, it should hit an F sharp below middle C. So F sharp 3 on the piano. Let's go and see if it does. Just coming over here to my trusty lovely little piano, and we'll see if I can hit it. So here's middle C or C4. And he said you want the F sharp below it. So that would be this. Now my piano is in tune. I'm fairly sure my piano is in tune. I tuned it a while ago. So I should be aiming for that. So using the neck only, let's give it a go. Yep, he's right. Now, the other thing that he said that was interesting is that as a beginner, you should start with a 2, a 1.5 or a 2 reed. And the one that's in here, I think, is a 2.5, so 2.5. He said that a 2 or a 1.5 will be easier to play. So I'm just going to switch the reed out and try it with one of these. But I love the way it's making my lips tingle, and I really like the way it's making my lips tingle. Probably helps to take this off, take the metal bit off. Then I can just switch out the reed. Put the 2 in. I think it's supposed to be lined up perfectly. I think that's a bit overshot, so I think it needs to go back a little bit. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing here. Tighten it up and see what happens. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. That doesn't sound good. Try that. I'm not sure about that. You know what? I think I'm just maybe going to just go back to the other reed. I think I've done something wrong. I don't know. That just feels a bit odd. I think this reed was working for me. So let's just go back to that. This reed that's in there doesn't have any marking on it. It hasn't got any... Maybe you're not supposed to play with that. Well, it looks like a proper reed. Sod it, it was working. Let's go with it. I don't know, maybe it was just like a display placeholder or something. That sounds good to me. I think that sounds better. It's got no marking on it. It doesn't say what it is, if it's a 2 or a 2.5 or a what, but I like the sound of it. All right, now I need to know what to do with my hands. Okay, so an important step that Troy didn't tell me about, that this other guy, Better Sax, has, is that you need to wet the reed in order for it to play properly. And you do that either by dunking it in a glass of water or putting it in your mouth. So, I feel like I'm at the doctor's, like, ah. Okay, so I really like this guy on Better Sax, because not only did he explain that you need to wet the reed, but he also explained how to test if the reed is on well, if it's been well sort of placed. And he said you put it on the flat of your hand, you suck out all the air, and if it pops when you take your palm away, it's the correct seal. It's so much fun. So I've got a reed that I like, and I think it's correctly on. It's easy to make a sound out of it. That is, and wetting the reed, that has made a significant difference. And I can use both methods, like the tooth and that, but I definitely think for me both lips over my teeth is easier. He also said to test to see what the longest note is that you can play. Let's see how well an asthmatic former smoker can do. Sorry, I couldn't help laughing. Probably do a bit longer than that. Not bad. Okay, so from watching Better Sax, I have learned that the fingering on a saxophone is freaking insane. Who the hell thought this one up? Yeah, look, I've got all of this going on over here with my right hand, and on the left hand we've got all of this stuff going on at the back here, including a little thumb thing here. It makes no sense. Again, as a trumpet player, you have got 3 keys. You got 3 little pearls, and that makes your entire octave with 3 keys. This is God knows what going on. So yeah, this lesson he's taught the fingering. Next lesson we're going to learn how to play some notes. But I couldn't help it. I blew into it to see what would happen, and I discovered this. Not quite right, but I have no idea what I'm playing. I think apparently all of them closed is a D, and that's all I know. Well, if that's a D and it's in an E flat, then it must be D, E flat. What comes after that? I don't know. I'm really crap at scales, but it makes a sound. It's my umbra. My umbra is bad. My umbra. Umbrella. My umbrella is really bad. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm enjoying it. Why is that? It's okay. So this to me sounds like my whistle does when I've not covered the hole properly. Is there a problem with the pads? What? I'm clearly doing something that I shouldn't be. I'm fucking this up. I know what I've done. I know why it was going wrong. Is the front of my finger here is catching something here. There we go. There we go. It's releasing that slightly. That's why I was right. I was listening to it sounding, that sounds like a hole isn't covered, and it was that one, and I was just catching it with the front of my finger. Got it now. Okay, it's exactly the same with it. This is so similar to the tin whistle. Because the thing with the tin whistle is that the sound you get is only the sound of the last hole that you open. So, for example, oh my goodness, my lips feel so funny after that. But if one of your fingers at the top is slightly off, then you're going to hit the higher note, because wherever the air comes out first is the note you're going to get. And that is what I think is the same with the saxophone, is it's just a giant sod off whistle. It's got all of these holes coming down it like a tin whistle, and if there's one at the top that's open, that's the note you're going to get, And so to get the notes at the bottom, you need to have them all closed so that the air's going straight down the whistle. Yeah, I think that's more or less it. I'm a bit tired. I'm overwhelmed. It's way more complicated fingering than I was expecting. My hands are hurting a bit. The other day I was learning to ride a bike with a proper clutch on it, and my hand is still a bit hurting from that. And this is very much like motorbikes. It requires a lot of gear shifting. So I'm going to take a 5-minute break, and I might come back and do some more later. Might save it for another video. Yeah, I might, you know what I'm probably going to do? I'm going to watch the next video about how to play different notes, and I'm going to try and wrap my head around the scale, because, I mean, I can cope with the C scale because that's easy, but an E flat scale, yeah. But it's not like I have to play with anybody, so it doesn't really matter, does it? So I'm going to learn the scale, and I'm going to learn to play a few different, I don't know, I'm just going to play with it, and I will come back in another video and show you what I've come up with. But this is an amazing birthday present, and thank you to Mum and Dad who chipped in for it. And yeah, I'm just, you know, there hasn't been anything that I've wanted in quite a long time, and I wanted this for a long time, and I'm really happy I've got it. You know, some things you want or you think you want, and you get them and it's like, nah. But this is is making me very smiley.